Right. It's Ushma and me doing the Awesomeness of New next video, which is going to be on the art of sourcing or source artistry. So it's really creating. That really is what it's about, isn't it? So you want to start? Ushma, you want to sit, because you're like so great in that whole area.
I was hoping you'd start so I'd know what the hell to talk about.
Okay, I'll start.
What do you want to say? Yeah.
Well, the art of sourcing for me is a new skill, and it's a skill of working in the invisible. It's not something where, oh, we're not talking about like, oh, just painting a picture or writing a book. We're talking about sourcing into the invisible space, the consciousness, the universe, the potential possibilities, ideas, genius, innovation, the realm in which all the invisible is contained. And for me, the art of sourcing is coming into that and being a creator, a conductor, an artist, bringing all these things together and swirling new possibilities into the world. So you could say it's like consciousness innovation, but the art of sourcing for me is much more than just consciousness innovation. It has an artistry to it. It's a weaving of becoming, and you are captivating and enchanting and creating and sourcing from the new and the ever new. It's always newing itself. So when you're sourcing something, it's like, there, I've got that, I'm going to hold that forever. It's like, it's this free-flowing art form where you're literally enchanting, shaping, making reality. So with new stuff all the time. That's how I would describe it.
I love it. Okay, I've got it now. I know what we're talking about. That's a good start.
Good.
So for me, what is exciting about doing it this way is that it is you sourcing it. So we've gone through different stages, and so for example at school you might be taught art in a certain way where it's all quite technical in terms of what you're doing to create something, and you're doing it based on what is, and it's very physical and it's very tangible, and whether you're creating a project, I don't know, a piece of art, a building, whatever it is, you do it logically and you create something. And we've talked about it on the videos before, but our come from place is totally energetic and working in the realms of the invisible. But a lot of people, even when they switch into the realms of energetic creation, are waiting for something to happen through them. So they surrender and they wait for source energy or for inspiration or intuition to come and download itself, and they're the vehicle or the channel for that to come into form, and then something amazing comes into form because it comes from that source energy. Yeah. And now what we're talking about is where you are actually sourcing that energy movement, and for me it happens centrally from within my body, and it is creating into the nothingness space. So there isn't something there that I'm basing it on, and I'm not trying to improve something that came before, or I don't have an idea of something in my head that I want to create, but I go into that source mode, and I'm pouring forth the energies of a creation, and then it's almost like action follows that. So the energies get moved first, and then you're almost in the flow with those energies. And you physically and you energetically are one thing, and you stream into bringing that into being. Or, as we were just having this conversation, where a lot of the stuff and we never have to do the work because we put it out in consciousness, where someone else will download it and bring it into being.
Yeah, that's so true. It's so exciting, and it's like, in a way, it's like when I'm sourcing, it's like, I got this, but it's not like I've got it, like I've got some agenda for it. It's not like that. I am effervescently creating the next newness and possibility for it all the time. But at the same time, I got it going there. And I've got it going there with grace. And so it doesn't, it used to be when people would bring in shifts, consciousness shifts, it would knock everybody about. And people still kind of believe that's true. But I don't hold it that way anymore, because we're doing this source artistry, or the art of sourcing, with this amazing grace and effervescence and excitement and exhilaration, and it's like something people get invited into. It's a becoming where you don't have to I have to resist or let something go, and it's so exciting. It's like we were talking about these pop-up experiential events that are appearing in London and places, taste, sound, color, music, all of it, art, visual. And it's like what we're sourcing in the invisible space is the becoming of us. And it's like people walking into one of those amazing experiential events, and it's life altering. It's like you level up to an experience. It's like, I'm going to have that for the rest of my life. I'm not going to go back to dull normal. I'm going to live in this space where I show up and where I'm creating and where I'm myself and I'm authentic and I'm in flow and I'm creating. And it's all of it. So we're sourcing the spaces for that. And to me, that's part of the art of sourcing. Is it's a bit invisible to everybody else, unless you're like us and we line up and tune in together and, oh yeah, I can see it, I can feel it.
Yeah.
But to me, it's one of the most powerful art forms there is at the moment, the art of sourcing.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah. And I think the other thing is that we're in such an exciting time right now. And I've seen a lot of posts over the last few days about, I think someone called it the Great Reset. It's like we have a blank canvas. Everything that was has fallen away. And we are now able to really take that and create anything. And our role is to be the source creator of that. If we wait for that to turn into anything, you will be waiting forever, because we are now walking as source creators on the planet, and we have to move the energy to make that happen. And by we, I don't mean just me and Slayer, I mean we, all of us.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the other thing is, the energies are moving very quickly. So it's an exhilarated, dynamic space. And you have to be in it, you have to be online and fully online with it to be able to, it's almost like it's such a different frequency. If you're not in that space where everything's moving that quickly and you can feel the dynamism in the air, then you're not in the space of sourcing that we're talking about. Because the other spaces where nothing is moving at all. So it's almost like there are the two energetic predominant spaces right now.
Absolutely. And to me, the difference is, I've talked before in some of the other stuff I've done about two worlds. There's the world as it's been, as it kind of is in what people think of real reality. And there's the world as we are becoming and creating and sourcing in. And they're so radically different. And if you exist in the world as it's always been, then you could rail against it, you get pissed off at it, you could be upset by it, you can be depressed by it, you can just go along with it. But in this world, which includes the invisible realms, or what I call the quantum world, in the quantum creation world, everything's there for your making. It's like you're an artist or a conductor, and there's all the pieces, just all the possibilities just sitting there wafting about, waiting for you to make music or make art with them in some way. And it gives you such a different feeling to live in this world, creating like that in the art of sourcing, versus this world where you really don't have that choice to have an option of what you're going to do when the world's driving you crazy or you're really disappointed by it. But here you have a big option of what to do, and you begin to source create from possibility. And that's where it's so amazing.
It's like either you're starting with a sculpture or a painting, and then there's something you don't like about it and you tweak it a little bit, and that's when you're working in the physical. And when you're working in the energetic, every day is a blank space. Every day you're creating, you can create absolutely anything, and you can bring whatever color you want, whatever frequency, whatever energy, whatever you want to bring to bear. And that becomes the new painting, that becomes the new physical. You don't have to start with what was presented to you. You just switch out the canvas or the whatever, the clay, and you start again.
Yeah, and you don't even have to, what you were sourcing yesterday, you've got to keep sourcing today. You don't have, there is a kind of a calling to the art of sourcing. Like, I don't know, is it called from source? Is it called from the universe? Is it whatever? I know when I'm meant to source something. Something inside me goes ka-ching. Like it just rises up in me, and I've got that thing. And there are other things I see where, well, that's not mine to do. And I know somebody else will do it. I do intend someone else will do that. The right person, whoever it is, will take that on as the art of sourcing. But I think this is a skill that the whole world should have, that every single person should learn the art of sourcing from what we're calling the invisible or quantum realms, or the source creation, possibilities place kind of thing. Because wow, what a different world we'd have if everybody could create their life from that place. Yeah.
Very cool.
Exciting. Okay, that's it for today's Awesomeness of New. Thanks, everybody.
Bye.